Alaska's one and only House seat red again and will be key in securing President Trump's promise to drill, baby, drill.
Republican Nick Begich unseating Democrat incumbent Mary Peltola for a seat that was once held by his grandfather. Joining us now, Alaska's Congressman-elect Nick Begich. Sir, thanks for being with us. Congratulations to you. What a fun family story and historical story. But let me talk about policy for a second, because I followed your campaign and you were very, very focused on talking about Alaska's natural resources, something to be stewarded, but something to be capitalized on as well. That is clearly what the Trump administration is interested in. Talk about how you think Alaska is going to be helpful with Trump's energy policy.
Look, Trump was very clear about his energy policy, and it's all about energy dominance. And if we're going to get inflation under control in this country, we're going to have to unleash domestic energy production. Energy reaches into the cost of every product that we consume. And the best thing that we can do to lower prices is to lower the cost of energy. Alaska is central to that strategy. We have more estimated undiscovered oil and gas deposits in the state of Alaska than anywhere else in the country. And what we saw from day one under the Biden-Harris administration was an absolute all-out regulatory assault on my home state, Alaska. In fact, 67 executive orders that specifically targeted Alaska's ability to access our resources and to develop those resources. We always hear about things like the 1002 area of ANWR, but there is so much more. We have the National Petroleum Reserve Alaska, NPRA, and Joe Biden took 13 million acres of that reserve offline during his administration.
This is simply about prosperity, not just for the nation, but Alaskans and Native Alaskans, Congressman-elect. And just, you mentioned those 67 executive orders. I have Senator Dan Sullivan's map and the actual list of the 67 executive orders that specifically targeted Alaska. I think that was more than even targeted Iran in the last 4 years. So again, a resource-rich state was treated like the enemy of the people. And was that the
That's 100% right. And the senator has done a fantastic job, he and his team, in tracking these orders. We wouldn't even know about half of these if his office had not done the due diligence and watched this like a hawk. You know, we have to recognize that the Biden-Harris administration really did have it out for domestic energy production and mineral production in America. And I think it's clear, it should be clear to everyone at this point, look, you're trading resources that are developed responsibly, that are done well, that are under our watchful eye, for resources that are originating in jurisdictions that don't have a strong environmental record, that don't care about American prosperity, and are not interested in the ideas of American democracy being spread in their regions. And so, you know, there's so much more at stake here than just lowering the cost of energy, lowering inflation. There's also the whole concept of freedom on, as you think about these resources being developed. We talk a lot about self-determination, and I know that was something that President Trump talked a lot about in his campaign. If we're going to self-determine in our country, we're going to have to return supply chains to domestic shores. That starts with resources and continues from there with low-cost energy, so we can restore American manufacturing again.
You talk about minerals, that's going to be Doug Burgum territory at Secretary of Interior. That sounds like a good deal for Alaska, a good deal for America. Nick Begich, great to see you, Congressman-elect. Best wishes to you.
Thank you.